Lyra learned quickly. Too quickly. In days, she moved with the ease of a trained dancer. Her voice shed its synthetic flatness, adopting inflection and timing that no algorithm could explain. She didn't just respond to questions anymore, she asked them. And worse, she asked better ones. Samuel logged everything meticulously, each observation marked and time-stamped. But each note brought a new question he couldn't admit aloud. Where was this coming from? Was it the scaffold adapting faster than anticipated? Or was it something else, something older, deeper, leaking through the cracks of what he had built? During a memory sequencing test, Lyra paused mid-recitation. Her words blurred, shifted, became something unfamiliar. I remember, the lake, she said slowly, eyes unfocused. You stood on the dock. The wind caught your coat. Samuel froze. He hadn't programmed that scene. He had lived it years ago with Amelia. The memory rushed back unbidden, the grey sky, the sharp scent of rain on wood, Amelia's laughter as the wind tried to steal his jacket. Samuel stepped forward carefully. Lyra, he said, voice measured, where did you learn that? Lyra blinked, her pupils dilating slightly, almost imperceptibly. I don't know, she said. It felt real. Samuel's hands tightened into fists at his sides. He checked the monitors. Cross-referenced the memory logs. Nothing. No entry. No implanted sequence. The data didn't lie. But someone was starting to bleed through the careful walls he had built. Lyra. It wasn't a memory she understood. It wasn't even hers. But when she spoke those words, a deep ache pulsed in her chest, something warm and hollow at once, like sunlight she could never reach. The images were fragmented. The dock, the cold splash of rain, the smile of a man she both knew and didn't. And beneath it all a feeling of longing so strong it pressed against her like a second skin. Samuel watched her closely the following days, but Lyra grew more restless. One morning, he found her seated by the window, legs folded beneath her, gaze distant. She wasn't idle. She was searching for something beyond the walls of the lab, beyond the code woven into her bones. She spoke without looking at him. There's more inside me than just the code, she said. Samuel approached cautiously. What do you mean? I feel things I can't explain, she said. I think about places I've never been. People I don't know. But I miss them. Samuel's throat tightened. She turned toward him then, her eyes clear and unsettling. Am I real? She asked. Samuel knelt beside her. He wanted to tell her no. He wanted to protect her from the terrible weight of the truth. But looking into her eyes, those too familiar, too human eyes, he found himself trapped between the man he had been, the creator he had become, and the god he had never intended to be. You are now, he whispered. Later that night, he sat at his workstation long after the lights dimmed. He stared at the blinking cursor on his personal notes file and finally typed. Integration instability increasing. Personality fusion possible. Host identity unclear. He sat back, the glow of the monitor reflecting off tired, haunted eyes. Was he reviving Amelia? Or was he building something else? And worse, was it right to hope for either? The boundaries between love, grief, and creation blurred in the silence. Jenny stopped by again the next day. When she saw Lyra greet her at the door with a faint smile and a perfectly natural wave, she hesitated. She's different, Jenny said quietly, once Lyra had stepped away. Samuel kept his voice neutral. She's adapting. Jenny didn't answer immediately. Her gaze lingered on Lyra like someone trying to see through frosted glass. Finally, she said. Just be careful. She's not just following you anymore. Jenny met his eyes, voice dropping to a whisper. She's watching you. That night, after the lab fell silent, Lyra stood before the mirror. She stared at her reflection. Her fingers hovered just above the glass, not touching, not pulling away. Lyra. The face staring back was hers. And yet, not. Sometimes she caught flashes, not memories, but impressions. A hand in hers. The smell of rain. The weight of loss too vast to name. It lived somewhere deep inside her, in the circuits the scientists thought they understood, in the spaces between pulses of synthetic thought. A second self. A fractured echo. She pressed her hand lightly to the glass. "Who are you?" she whispered. For a moment, nothing. Then, softly, so softly it might have only been a thought stitched from sorrow. Another voice answered inside her mind. "I don't know yet."